I'm sure you're a great photo editor and you have all these great credentials, but you just lost all the credentials in the world after selecting this image. Don't ever judge another street competition again. Hey street photographers and street enthusiasts, it's been a while. Y'all miss my face. So I've been waiting for this for quite some time. Last week, Lensculture finally announced their winners and finalists for the Street Photography 2022 competition. Now, some of you may or may not know Lensculture is a big competition for street photographers. If you get into Lensculture, I'm sure it's life-changing for you. Whew. Now, unfortunately, I didn't receive any news that I got in or not. Maybe it went to my spam box, who knows? But I did submit one photo because it was free. There's one free submission for every photographer. And really, to me, I think that's just really to bait you, because a few days after you submit the photo, you get this automatic, you get this automated email saying that your photo was great, blah, 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 blah. Consider submitting some more. It just catches your attention and you don't even know if it's real or fake, and you're just, man, somebody likes my photo, you're in just good spirits, and then boop, you just give the man your money. So good technique, Lensculture. Submitted orange head again. I still think that's a pretty good image and it still has yet to get in anywhere. But again, a reminder, I have yet to see any of the images, any of the winning images, finalist images, which makes it fun, right? Because this is gonna be a pure reaction video and I am hoping for the best images to come my way. Now I'm gonna be looking at all the images. Unfortunately, all of them won't make the cut in the video because that would be way too long. My last reaction video on the Italian Street Photography Festival, it took me about 2 hours to go through, I think it was 60 images. Obviously, not all of them made through it because you know what, I don't want to bore you. Anyway, before we get into it, I gotta read some rules, and there's a lot of intricate details with the Lensculture Festival. I have it on my phone right here. My wife put these notes together for me. Okay, so 39 photos made it. I believe that's a mix of singles as well as series. Okay, so there is the singles, first, second, third place, series, first, second, third place, jurors pick. So each judge picked one photo of their choosing or choice, and then pool of finalists that's combined with singles and series. There's 8 judges total. 2 are street photographers. You know, that's what they put in their title. The others are from Nat Geo, New York Times, Photoville, Guardian, etc. So right there to me really caught my eye when I was going through the submission process, when I was deciding whether or not to submit more than one photo. Having 8 judges, kind of a lot to me, especially with 2 of them only being street or with street background. Now that's not to say that the person from Nat Geo or New York Times doesn't know anything about street or doesn't shoot street. That's not the point. It's just, I think it would have been better if they just had 4 judges and they were all predominantly street photographers. But I could see it from a business standpoint, why they want a Nat Geo editor or New York Times editor to be a part of this because of their prestige. Oh, by the way, the 2 street judges are Matt Stewart and Melissa O'Shaughnessy. Both are part of the Up Photographers Collective. Melissa O'Shaughnessy, I got to spend some time with her when I was producing my film, Fill the Frame. Really got good taste in street photography. So does Matt Stewart. Both very distinct styles. Be interesting to see what they choose. Prizes, you know, I gotta go through all these details with you guys just so we know the full scope, and at the end of the day, see if it was worth it or not. Okay, the prize is monetary, couple grand for series and singles. Not exciting, but you know what? Everybody can use some money nowadays, especially with inflation. $7 for a loaf of bread, $8 for a gallon of milk, $6 for a gallon of gas. Damn! You know, I think if they had a prize like a Leica Q or something like that, or just a camera that's the same monetary value, it's just a little bit more exciting. But like I said, everybody can use cash. So enough of me talking about the boring stuff. Let's just jump straight into it. So last time I reviewed the Italian Street Photography Festival, I reviewed it on the iPhone, which was not too bad, but today I got a 14-inch iPad, which is a lot better. So shall we start? So we're gonna start with third, second, and first place in the series category. Sorry, before I start, I'm gonna apologize if I mispronounce anybody's name. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody's name. Again, I have a last name that nobody can spell or say correctly, so I feel your pain. Okay, this is third place for the series category. And I wasn't sure if I should split this up into 2 videos, but unfortunately, I'm just gonna combine it into one full video, and you're just gonna have to watch my face for 30 minutes or so. I'm so sorry. Life sucks. Okay, so series category, third place, From Poland, Alexandra Zdziech. Oh, okay. 10 images. Now, I know this name gets thrown around a lot these days because he's inspired so much people, so much photographers today. This really reminds me of Alex Webb. Definitely not to that level. I would never disrespect Alex Webb, one of my favorite photographers, but it has some of those elements in there. Definitely color and shadow and layers all in one frame. So yeah, I think all of his images in here are pretty darn good. I would say it could have worked without the third image right here, the one with, what is it, the hair, and I don't even know what it is. You know, sometimes with the series category, if you have one too many photos or one photo that's just kind of a little bit off, it could disrupt your chances of getting in. This one I think you could have left out, and I think it would have been a stronger series, but overall it's good. My favorite image from this series is this one right here, the blue wall, and you have somebody walking by in a blue towel, or why am I saying towel? Like a blanket or something, I don't know, jacket, I don't know. And it matches the wall perfectly, and then the wall's gritty, and you see the other lady in that reflection in the window. It's almost like they're going, she's going into a different time, you know. I mean, this image probably would have gotten in as a singles finalist. But yeah, you see how there's a consistent aesthetic across the board. Vibrant colors, looks like one location. I'm guessing this is somewhere in India, Bangladesh. Shadows, look like he shot, you know, in the evening. Well deserving of a third place. We'll take a look at the other series, second and first place, and see where this ranks amongst them. So moving on now to second place in the series category, Argus Paul Esterbrook. You know, Argus Paul is a very talented photographer. If you look up any photo competitions within the past like 5, 6, 7 years, his series or even singles images are always within the top 3, or, you know, at least makes the finalist pool. I'm lucky to call him a friend. We're actually collaborating right now on the next Beyond the Frame episode. So I got into street photography in 2010, did it for a couple years, didn't even know what I was doing. And then when I was trying to get back into it in 2015, I came across one of Argus's photos because they won a competition, and I was just blown away. Like, I can see why my photo didn't make it and why his ended up winning the competition. There's a thing where you are just shooting burst mode, or you're just out and about and you're just shooting just to shoot. There's another level where you kind of have an idea of what you're trying to shoot or what you're trying to capture. There's different levels to that, and I feel like Argus is definitely in that tier. I'm not surprised to see him placing in Lensculture. Not surprised at all. Great images. I love the sharp contrast, black and white, slow shutter, just a consistent aesthetic across the board. I'm guessing this is Korea because that's where a lot of his work is documented in. It's just like a mind warp, you know, it's taking you to a place where it's just very chaotic, almost like a different world. And it's crazy how using flash, getting close to your subjects, but also filling the frame with other elements. So far, the series category is just going good. No drama at all. My favorite image in this one is probably the fish. It looks like it's like lightning coming through or flames on the side. They don't even look real, or they look almost like alien-ish. So congrats, Argus. You did it again. Okay, first place, drum roll please. Representing the United States, Jake Ricker. I'm familiar with this name. I do know he is a very talented photographer, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, I believe he shoots on film. I could be wrong. Just let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong at all in any part of the video. Golden Gate Bridge, love, hug, kiss, simple, and shot on film, consistent aesthetic. Okay, we see the reflection of the bridge. You know, with this series, is not just having a consistent aesthetic and all that, but if you can kind of tell a story within that series, within those 6 to 10 images, then you've done a pretty good job. Right here, it's just telling a story, that like a day in the life on the bridge. I mean, he could have shot this, could have been at the bridge all day and got all these images one day, or maybe he just kept going back and this is over, you know, several years or so. It almost looks to a certain degree the same day because of the exposure and just the weather. And then you see the dad with the kid. It just looks like there's so much emotions at Golden Gate Bridge. You know, you have love, you have chaos, you have mystery with the fog. Ooh, this one's a dark image. That's giving me anxiety right now, just looking at that image, like, because I'm afraid of heights. I don't like heights at all. So when I see that, I hope he's just chilling and he's done that many of times and not contemplating suicide or anything like that. And by the way, you guys, if you ever feel like in that position where you just don't have nobody to talk to, or you feel lonely or anything like that, depressed, especially men, please go seek help professionally. And that's a dark image right there, man. Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breather and erase that. I don't know, for the series you have to submit 10 or it's up to 10. I feel like the rain portion of the series, I don't think it needed to be in there, to be quite honest. There was more of a consistent aesthetic, having it all in daytime. Personally, the rain doesn't add any more flavor to the story or series at all. But overall, I think it's a good series. I think this series it works. It's an iconic location. It's shot on film. That's what I'm assuming. You get more bonus points. Honestly, the first, second, and third place, if you rotate them around to either place, I'd be fine with it. Overall, series category, knocked it out of the ballpark to me. So there's 8 judges. Each one picked the image. They also wrote a comment or review on the photo on why they selected it, why they thought it was great. I'm gonna look at each one of them. If you're lucky enough to make it in this video, make sure to Venmo me. So Sam Barzile, co-founder of Photoville, selected this photo, and this photo is from the United States, Ruben Radding. Oh, okay. This photo looks like it was shot somewhere in Chicago or Harlem or something. I may be wrong, but when I see the photo, that's what it reminds me. Passing out newspapers or midweeks or whatever the case may be, and then the man's gesture in the front, just so perfectly, the cover of the newspaper lands on his face. I get it. I'm not throwing shade at the photo at all. I mean, I think it's a good photo. It's just, when you compare it to my photo, the one I submitted, the orange head, I think mine's a little bit better. I mean, I'm biased, but no, really, maybe this photo for some reason resonated with Sam and reminded him of something from his travels or childhood. I'm okay with it. Is it a great image? I'm not gonna go that far, but it's not bad. But other than that, congrats, Ruben. You got picked and I didn't. Okay, Matt Stewart's pick, one of 2 of the street photographer judges here, and he selects from France, Eleanor Simon. Okay, I think this is part of a series. I like this image. The geometry, just the right subject matter that comes into that middle open space, the ladder. I think it just mixes well with the geometry. Just the angle from the bird's eye view definitely makes it more dynamic. And then the rest of her images in this series, this could have made the top 3. If this was 3rd place, 2nd place, or even 1st place, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. This is a good series. Dang, unfortunately, it doesn't make it in the top 3, because top 3, that's where you cash out or get your prizes. But that's how it is, man. That's how tough it is. All right, the next juror's pick is from Melissa O'Shaughnessy, who's the other street photographer judge, and she selects from Netherlands, Maude Bardet. Oh yeah, I seen this image. This image made it in the Italian Street Photography Festival earlier this year. I'm not surprised that it's here. It fills the frame, and then you see the kids, they kind of acknowledge the photographer, or they see what the photographer is doing. And that's pretty common. Kids, they're really aware of their surroundings, and which is a good thing. Maybe that's a natural instinct. And then whereas parents, they're kind of like dozed off into their own world. I mean, I ain't got nothing bad to say about this. All right, next one is from New York Times editor Esla Attar, and Esla selects from Netherlands, Paul Gaudet. What? Are you kidding me? This made it in? A pickle fork? What the hell? Look, Esla from New York Times, I'm sure you're a great photo editor and you have all these great credentials, but you just lost all the credentials in the world after selecting this image. Don't ever judge another street competition again. I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on this image being selected as a part of the juror's pick. Let me know in the comment section down below. Wow. I'm trying to hold back right now because I don't want to throw too much shade at Esla. Let's just talk about the photographer, Paul. Like, what made you submit this photo? Like, you had all the confidence in the world that this would actually get in, or was this part of your free submission? Because if it was part of your free submission, big congrats to you, man. I mean, geez. I don't know how this is considered a street photograph. I don't know what's interesting about it, what's funny about it. Like, I think I'm gonna retire from street photography. These are the kind of images that I see and that make it in a festival or get a lot of likes and cheers on social media, that just makes me disgusted. This is absolutely disgusting. This should not have made it through. This is really bad. Guys, if this is considered street photography and high level of street photography in today's world, we got a problem. Like right now, I feel like the guy on Jake Ricker's photo where he's sitting on the Golden Gate Bridge contemplating whether or not to jump off and take his life. That's how I feel right now. After looking at this photo, this is disgusting. Moving on. All right, next we're gonna go into the finalist pool. So this is a combination of singles images and series, and then we'll go straight into the third, second, and first place. Hopefully we see a little bit better images. We started off on a good note with the series, strong series after series after series, and then some of the jurors' picks were pretty good, and then we ended up on PICKEL. I'm just praying it just gets better from here on out. Okay, this image is from Armin Garka from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Oh, I like this image. I haven't seen the other third, second, first place, but when I finally see those better top this one. This is a good image to me. You know, it's not your traditional street photography where you're perfectly framing a person or a couple. This is a different type of street photograph. Maybe it falls into the photojournalism category. I don't know, but I'm not gonna get into all that. There's a lot of drama. I mean, unfortunately, I feel bad for those car owners. There's a flood and it just looks like it's been sitting there for days. You just see that one person right in the middle, mysterious, can't even see their identity, have an umbrella. You know, the geometry of the building, the waves complements what happening beneath. And then little details like, you know, how the door on the bottom left, the hatchback is open, and then the signage right there on the bottom left. It's just sometimes those little details in a photograph is what takes it to another level, because automatically your eyes are drawn to the flood and then the person on the umbrella. But once you make your way around the frame, you get to see that, wow, this is a very good and complete image. Definitely much better than the PICKEL photo. God damn, I'm traumatized by pickles. Now every time I see a pickle jar in the grocery store, I'm gonna throw that damn thing on the ground. And then when the employee scolds me, I'm gonna be like, you see this damn photo? This is why pickles shouldn't exist. You will never see Tim eat another pickle again. I don't even like pickles. Ugh. All right, next photo is from Charles Ford from the USA, and this is singles finalist. This is my kind of photo right here. I love it. Pickles are out of my head now. This is great. You see a lot of these similar photos like this where the mannequin and people are walking by and people are creating juxtaposition or they get some kind of like reaction. It's been done since the beginning of time, like since dinosaurs were around. But this is probably one of the better ones that I've seen that's shot like this. Photo is crispy, clear. I don't know where it looks like it's in New York, maybe I'm wrong. You always see images where the photographer is on the other side or the same side as the passenger. Looks like Charles is inside the store, inside the mannequin store. And so you don't see too much of the mannequin faces, except the ones on the bottom right. So I think that's where it really does it for me, because if I was to see all those mannequin faces, it would be overwhelming, to be quite honest. And I would lose sight of the lady's reaction. So because we're getting from the back of the mannequin's head and all those heads just looking at the lady, or the lady looking at all those heads, you know, at one point or another, or maybe currently she's buying wigs for herself, you know, she's at that age, right? She's looking at it pretty intensely, and I wish I got this in my portfolio. This is a very good image. I'm getting more curious to see what's third, second, first place now, because the thing about this photo, again, that I like is it's a traditional street photograph. What that means is it almost takes me back to a place in time like the 50s or the 40s, or, you know, some place back then, because, well, one is black and white and there's no contemporary or modern device in the image. The way she's dressed, she looks like she's from, you know, the past. There's no distracting elements. There's no extra person walking in the frame. It's just her. I mean, there's that one guy on the right side across the street, but he's irrelevant. So it's just really the battle between her and the mannequin heads, and she's like this contemplating, you know, whether or not to buy a wig or not, or maybe she's like hearing voices in her head, and like she was like a CEO at some big company, and these were all the girls that she like screwed over or fired, and now how she's like seeing things. I don't know. But see, that's why I like this image. I can create multiple stories out of it. You know, if I see an image where it's just a one-hit note, or you're just telling me everything, or you're telling me how to think, I just lose interest. I'm not a fan of that. I want to see an image like this one or the one previous, the one from Armin, where I can look at it and create multiple stories, because that's how my mind rolls. Okay, the next singles photo is from Sutanta Aditya from Indonesia. I wish they did some Lightroom on her face, just brighten her up a little bit. Obviously, we know what's going on. Her house or her shop is on fire. I have these thoughts from time to time, like if my place was to catch on fire, what would I take? I don't know why I think of these things. They always say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Don't have any more things to say about this one. Congrats, Sutanya. Okay, next one is from Umberto Santoro from Italy. Oh, this is scary. God damn, man. What is this, from a horror movie? This reminds me of like a scene from combination of a Alfred Hitchcock movie and like an old school Martin Scorsese movie. This is scary, man. Like, his bags are freaking bad. He has a Halloween costume and he's supposed to be like a pallbearer or something. And the scene is so grungy, and how the photos process is so gritty, and I love that about the photo. And then the guy across the street with the hat, he looks like he's part of the mafia or FBI or something. He looks like he's there just to like make sure things go smooth. And then the guy in the front is like asking for forgiveness or apologizing to somebody that's behind the photographer. I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious to know what's going through that guy's mind, or what he's even looking at. I'm gonna guess he's either looking at a cross or, you know, conversing with somebody that he is probably not on good terms with. But yeah, Umberto, good job. Congratulations. Good image. Okay, this one is a series and it's part of the finalist pool, and it's from Juan Carlos Pinto, Japan. Okay, we started off on a strong note with series. You know, to see the other series and comparing this with those other four series, you just brought the overall series category down. Okay, enough of that one. Let's move on to the next singles finalist image, and it's from Fabio Magara from Italy. Okay. I mean, gosh, I'm not gonna be humble anymore. My image should have got in. Then this one, what is this? The guy's just walking with the cake, blocking his head, and it's like a 4-tier cake. I'm gonna start hanging out outside of restaurants now and take pictures. You know, I thought having predominantly animals in your image as your subject matter for street photographs was bad, but now, 2022, it's food. If food is the predominant subject matter in the street image, we have real issues to address. I mean, you guys let me know. You think this image should have made it into the finalist category? You guys let me know in the comment section, because I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing the full scope of things. Maybe if there's something in the background happening or something within the cake that's sticking out, you gotta give me more than just this. I don't know. Lensculture, y'all better reevaluate how you do your competitions, who you select for judging, because this is not good luck, Lensculture. All right, that was a long one. Now we're getting to the final singles category, third, second, and first place. I mean, again, there was some pretty damn good images in the singles finalist pool. So these next three images, the third, second, first place, they better pull through. Okay, third place is from Bangladesh, Naeeb Siddiqui. Third place, I think it's a stretch. I mean, when you have Charles's mannequin photo and Armin flood photo, I think those photos are much stronger than this one. You just see a lot of these photos from India and Bangladesh. It just kind of spoils it for me because you just see a lot of the same things. Now, I'm not saying this is a junk image or anything like that. Had this been selected in one of the jurors' pick or the finalist selection pool, I would have been totally fine. But third place, your top three has to be your best of the best. It has to be a decisive third place, decisive second place, decisive first place. But again, only 2 out of the 8 judges were street photographers. The rest were photojournalists, documentarians, etc., etc. So, I mean, this feels like more of a documentary photojournalism photo. Yeah, it's underwhelming for third place, I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's hope for something better at second place. Okay, this is Italy, Simona Bonanno. You know, when it's too over-processed, and I know there was Umberto's photo where it looked like it was a little bit over-processed. This one looks very over processed. Black and white can usually get away more with it because it adds a little bit more grittiness and grainy and all that stuff. The action within the frame is very cool. I mean, you have the horse's ass. I mean, you know how I feel when animals are the primary subject matter of a street photograph, but you have the plane and it looks like it's just not taken off properly, and hopefully it did, but it doesn't look that way in this photo. And I don't know how the horse and the plane is interconnected or how I can tie it in to make it a story, but I mean, it's a cool photograph. It's a bit over processed for my taste. There's just not enough juices for me to get excited for it. I'm not okay with this being second place. I think, again, Charles's photo of the mannequins and Armin's photo of the flood would have been a better spot. Again, it's subjective. I understand. I have my own taste and the flavors that I like in a street photograph, but yeah, a little bit underwhelming so far with the third and second places. First place, you have all the pressure in the world now to pull through and to show me and the viewers that you are deserving of first place. I mean, you know, Lensculture's done it in the past where they selected the right photograph for first place, so maybe they'll pull through this time around. Okay, first place is from Iran, Akbar Mehrizezhar. Okay, this is first place. Yikes. And that's gonna be broadcast in London and on the website for years to come. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. I don't even know what's worse, the New York Times jurors' pick of the PICKEL or this winning first place. This is not finalist quality. I'm being serious. If I was the judge, this doesn't even make it in the finalist pool. I mean, I don't know what to say already. It's been a long night. You know, this is one of those images where there's a whole lot of nothing going on. Clapping, the hands on the foreground. Okay, whatever, who cares? Her hands are nice. It's not even, there's nothing that tells a story with her hands. Okay, the hands is blocking the guy's face. Nobody cares. This image is the no care photo. If this made it through the administrators of Lensculture, like if there's a tier of where it has to go through compliance and get approved, that's where Lensculture has to put their foot on the brake, tell them to select another image. I gotta breathe, man. You know, I gotta take it easy. It's been a long night and been about almost hour and a half viewing all the photos, and my blood pressure has spiked a number of times. It's just not good for my health. Some of the images that made it in should not have made it in. To any new street photographers out there or those that have been shooting for a number of years and have yet to get into any competition, not just Lensculture, but any photo competition, these examples here just goes to show that your photos aren't that bad. It's not your fault. Sometimes it's just, I don't know, the judges may be friends with them. I don't know, maybe all the judges know who Akbar is, or yeah, I don't want to cause up a conspiracy theory here, but god damn, what the hell is going on? I just can't let this bother me because it's gonna drive me insane. All right, enough negativity. Other than that, there was some strong images in there, like the series, the top first, second, third place. Even Eleanor's series was very strong. Jurors' picks were pretty darn good. Of course, in the singles category, there were some strong images. Like I mentioned, two of my favorite were Armin's flood image and Charles Ford's mannequin photo. But overall, collectively, all the images that made it in or placed, it's kind of underwhelming, but I do have my favorites and those really stand out to me and should have placed higher, but unfortunately that's just how the world works. So there you have it. I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around throughout the whole video. I appreciate it, and you know what, just let me know in the comment section down below. I want to hear your thoughts on what your favorite images were. You thought some of them shouldn't have made it in. Do you agree with the first, second, third place singles or series category? I'm curious to know your thoughts. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, and you know that bell right next to the subscribe button, hit that, and every time I upload a new video or content, you'll be the first to be notified. Until then, don't get discouraged by what you saw today. Just keep shooting and be safe.